Hello and welcome to Outtext TV. Today's video is in the spirit of Halloween. We are going to look at my top 10 Halloween films. These are the 10 films that I go to every time that we are in this festivity time of Halloween. Now these are going to be different variant of horror films, comedy horror. It's going to be blood, gore, slasher. It's got everything, this list, and these are my favourite 10. So before we get into it, let me know in the comments, what are your go-to movies in Halloween? I'm very interested because we're all going to have different opinions on this matter, and I would love to hear everyone's opinions and their top 10 list of their Halloween films they like to watch. So if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe if you want more. So without further ado, let's jump right into my top 10 Halloween films to watch. So, coming in at number 10 is going to be the 1976 Carrie. So, this is directed by Brian De Palma, and I tell you what, watching this movie for the first time, when I did, scared the living daylights out of me. This is all about a girl who has some sort of demon inside her, I think, or something like that, but she's going to prom, she gets picked on, she's the odd one out, and there's a big prank going on at her school that they're going to prank her and drop some yuck crap all over her, and I tell you what, it doesn't end well. It does not end well. It is one of those movies that you have to watch to believe, and she just goes mental, and she can do some things with her mind that are absolutely scary. It is terrifying. There is blood, there is gore, there is people dying, there is just complete mayhem, people burning, everything you want in a horror film. The 1976 version of Carrie has it, and that is my number 10 film for this list. Number 9 is Friday the 13th, 1984 version, which is the director is Sean S. Cunningham. Now, I think you could go for any of the Friday 13th movies, really. I mean, who doesn't want to see Jason just absolute murderfuls? I mean, come on. It's a slasher film, and that's what we want to watch. I love the original. We used to watch it when we were younger, growing up. These are the type of movies we used to rent and watch at night, especially around Halloween time. Just watching Jason mow down people for fun with his machete. It is just an absolute classic, horror classic. And, you know, you got the whole concept of Jason where he's drowned in Crystal Lake, I believe it is. And he's come back to haunt. And there's always people, you know, doing the business in the bedroom. They're dead. People dying when they go outside. There's just so many creative kills in it. And I just love the Jason character in the horror films. And there's nothing better than just seeing Jason just mow people down for fun with a machete. So, coming in at number 9 is going to be Friday the 13th. Coming in at number 8 is going to be another classic, Nightmare on Elm Street, which is, I'm going for the 1984 version, directed by Wes Craven, I believe it is. And this is another classic film. You've got Freddy Krueger, one of those characters that is iconic. The guy that comes in your dreams and just absolutely looks creepy as fuck because he's been burnt down and you can just see the skin. He's got the iconic hand with the blades on it. Just some iconic stuff, and he attacks you in the dream. So the idea is to stay awake as long as possible so he can't get you. And there is some creative ways that he kills people. There's blood and gore, exactly the same as Friday the 13th. This is a slasher film. It is just an epic, just slaughter fest. That's what it is, slaughter fest. There's some creepy designs of Freddy. He does change forms in the movie to basically haunt the people on their biggest fears and stuff like that. That's what he does, and it is a creepy stuff, and it is awesome. I highly recommend check it out. So coming in at number 8 is Nightmare on an Elm Street. Number 7 is going to be a horror comedy, which is Tucker and Dale versus Evil. 2010 it was released, and it is Eli Craig who directed this. this is a fun film. It is a horror comedy, so you've got the horror elements, you've got the kills, but you got the comedy as well. So the whole premise is, you got two characters, Tucker and Dale, and they have this house out in the woods that they're renovating, they're rebuilding. You got a group of college kids out there who think these guys are just hillbillies that are out there to just murder fools, and they think they are murdering them. And what makes it so awesome is these kids, they're trying to help the kids and stuff like that, and these kids are running and killing themselves by mistakes, and it's so funny. There's so many laughs in this film. It is one of those great comedy horror films you have to see. That the cast is stellar. It is fun. There is the twist in there that I didn't see coming when I first saw it, but it is awesome, and there is just so many creative ways that these kids die, and you don't feel bad for Tucker and Dale. You're just like, these guys are just misunderstood. Like, they're not killing these kids, but it just goes all haywire, and it's funny as. There's so many moments. I highly recommend checking it out. Tucker and Dale vs. Evil comes in at number 7. Coming in at number 6 is going to be Get Out, which is the 2017 release, and it is directed by Jordan Peele. This, to me, is just a fantastic film. Whether it's horror, drama, whatever, I think it's a horror film, but it is so good. There is so much story. The way that they create this concept that these people are jealous because of what dark-skinned people have, the athletic ability, and they think that they don't know how to use it properly. So basically, they devise an idea where they take a bit of out of your brain and put their bit of their brain in, and they actually take over the body. And it is a cool concept, and you watched this character, you get the twist in it, and you're just like, oh my god, you feel so helpless for the guy. You're like, oh, you're on the edge of your seat all the time. Jordan Peele does a fantastic, suspenseful, straight out horror film that is just fantastic. So much story. You're on the edge of your seat all the time, and I highly recommend check out Get Out. It is so good, and that comes in at number 6 for me. Coming in number 5 is an Australian horror film which was come out in 2005, directed by Greg McLean, and it is Wolf Creek. Now, this movie is, what scares the crap out of me about this movie is this is based on a true story. It has elements of a true story in it, and it is freaky because I live in the country and I didn't even know this stuff happened or anything like that until I watched this movie, and it's scary to think that there's someone out there that does this stuff. You watch it. This is just one of the most horrific films you can watch. There is just, so you got a premise of these people, these backpackers are out there enjoying it. One of them is killed, the other one is taken. Then this English guy notices that he's taken and he's got to escape, and it's just absolute just mayhem. There is mayhem everywhere. There is dead bodies, there is people cut up, there is young good-looking girls that are hung up, strung up, don't know if they're being raped or not, what's going on. It's just mental. It is scary crap because it's based on a true story. So that's what's so scary about this. It's got elements of a true story, and it is just one of those films. If you haven't seen Wolf Creek, watch Wolf Creek. Let me know what you think of Wolf Creek, because it is a great story. Well, not a great story, but it's a great story for a film, but it is scary, and this stuff happens, and it makes me not want to go out to the outback. I can tell you that now. It's pretty gruesome. So, number 5, Wolf Creek. Number 4 is another horror comedy, and it is an English film, Doghouse, which came out in 2009, directed by Jake West. Now, this is another horror comedy. This is about zombies. So, it's about a whole group of guy friends that are taking their friend out who just had a divorce, and they're going to take him to this town where there's women and that, but what they soon find out is the women have been infected by a virus, and now the women are out to kill all the men. And it is just, there's some great comedy. I tell you what, there is some great comedy in this film. There is epic kills in this. There's just some funny, just the English slang they have. Just everything about this film is just so good. There is just, yeah, you guys, I imagine most people haven't seen this movie, Doghouse. It's an English film. It's a slasher horror film, comedy as well. Check it out. 2009 it came out. It is just, you'll laugh. I guarantee you'll laugh. I always laugh when I watch this one. There's a good cast. The chemistry between the cast is just fantastic on screen. They bounce off each other so well. I buy that they're actually friends. They're really close friends. And I highly recommend check out Doghouse. And for me, it's my number 4 Halloween film. Number 3, Halloween 2018. This is the new one, directed by David Gordon Green. This is the continuation of the first original Halloween. Ignore all the other ones. This one is the sequel to that. That's what their idea was. And when I first saw this new one, I think it's absolutely phenomenal. I love this film. Mike Myers, I mean, another iconic character who just murders babysitters and people for fun. As well. But this one has some creative ways. There is very many creative ways that Michael Myers actually kills some people. And this is the continuation of how you see the Laurel character, how she is coping with him and how she's ready for him. She's got this PTSD that she is just so, like, she can't live because of what happened in the first one. So she's trying to make her way in life, being sane without people seeing her as an insane person. But when she realizes that he's gone, she is prepared. She knows what she has to do, and it just goes downhill quick. And it is just an epic horror film. There is suspense, there is thrills, there is murdering, there is blood, there is gore, there is people on fire, there's everything you want. And Halloween delivers, and it is my 3rd Halloween film of the year. So, number 2 is going to be A Quiet Place, which is 2018, come out last year. John Krasinski directed this and starred in it alongside his wife, Emily Blunt. This film is just, I think this is the best film of last year. It is just a phenomenal job. I mean, this film has no dialogue, basically. Barely any dialogue, and it's suspenseful. There is heart. When there's one scene, Emily Blunt coming down the stairs and a nail. If you guys haven't seen it, watch it, and when you get the scene, you will have the same reaction as I do. When, it's just, thinking about it now, yeah. And there is scenes where she's pregnant and she's trying to survive this, I don't know, it's like a monster that came out and they can only hear, they can't see. So they hear anything and everything, and they just murder people. And there is just, it's just a fantastic film. The kids are brilliant in it. I love this film so much. And she's pregnant throughout this, Emily Blunt. And there is some scenes where you are just like this. You're on the edge of your seat, just gripping like, oh my god, really? This is actually happening. So if you haven't seen it, A Quiet Place comes in number 2 for me. Check it out. And finally, number 1, we've made it to the end, and it is going to be It. Not It 2, not the original It, but It, the 2017 one. And I tell you what, this is my favourite horror film. This is my favourite movie now to watch at Halloween. I adore the first It. It is just fantastic. You have such rich material to draw from, and they did a fantastic job with the story. Pennywise looks great. He's terrifying. You're on the edge of your seat from the first scene. The first scene where you are watching the whole thing that happens with Georgie. you're on the edge of your seat because you know you're like sitting there like, no, don't do it, no, don't do it, no, don't do it. And then when it happens, you're like, oh my god. Okay, we mean business. Like, this is, we're not pussyfooting around or anything. This is serious. We're in trouble here. This is serious stuff. And just the way Pennywise haunts the kids is just so freaky and so good that I just adore this storyline. You get the mateship, you get the bond, you get everything that you want out of a horror film in this film. There's blood, there's gore, there's limbs being ripped off, just like, it's unreal. So, the first It comes in at number 1 for me. So thank you for watching. Make sure you like this video if you like it. Check out some more videos I've got. Subscribe if you want more content like this. And don't forget to let me know your Halloween films. What do you like to watch during Halloween? I mean, you may not like to watch horror films. You may like to watch peaceful films. I'm intrigued. Let me know your top 10 Halloween films you watch. And thank you again. And enjoy your day. Peace out.